I even feel it just first few days in camp, just having that like second jump of energy, just feeling good on the ice, things like that, definitely helps. Getting some time in the gym. I think Dan and Derek have been great all summer. I've been with them, probably since like second week of June. I've been here, so just grinding away in there, and they've been really helpful. So definitely put myself in a good spot to feel really good heading into the season here.
With kind of the way last year went, obviously, the lack of the offseason, I think you admitted it probably didn't put you in the best spot for the year, but regardless, the season didn't go necessarily the way you wanted it. How motivated are you to have a big year this season to bounce back?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think kind of like you kind of explained it. I think I kind of started a couple steps back last year, but obviously no excuses from my end. I got to play a lot better. So definitely looking forward to just getting back on the right side of things, and just getting back to my game, feeling confident, and hopefully help the team any way I can.
Do you feel some extra pressure given how last year ended, that this is kind of a big camp for you, and just in where you are, and then kind of you're taking the next step?
I think for me, I always put pressure on myself to compete, to put up points for this team and do anything I can to help. But at the same time, I almost feel not that as much pressure. Just getting back with the guys, having Coots, having Cam back, talking with them. I think it's a lot better feeling around the rink here. So. I think everyone feels pretty good heading into the season here, and we're just right now it's a lot of skating, a lot of just getting your mind and getting the timing right, and you do that, and hopefully you just jump right in when the season starts.
A lot of those two guys coming back, obviously, you just mentioned kind of like the leadership aspect, but they have a big impact on what's done on the ice and off the ice. I mean, how much just having them back impacts like the balance of your forward group? I know the line combinations don't mean too much now, but how it balances out the forwards for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think anytime you can add a guy that's won a Selke and a guy that's scored 40 in this league back on your roster, I think it's definitely going to help. They're two great players, and kind of like you said, they're great in the room. They lead this team the right way. So, I definitely look up to both those guys, and we're pumped to have them back.
Danny Briere said he felt like you took more of a leadership role this summer. What do you think he meant by that, and how do you think you did it?
Yeah, I mean, I think since the first day I ever got to Philly, I think the older guys have always treated me great. My first year here, having Kevin, Scott Lawton, Michael Raffel really, taking me under their wing, let me stay with them when I need dinners, you kind of name it. So I felt like this summer, now that I have a place in the city, I housed a few young guys. I felt like for me, if I'm here, try to get with those guys as much as possible, because I felt like when I was a young guy, guys did that for me, and it just makes you feel a lot more comfortable around the rink, and it just brings everyone together. So I just tried. I know I'm probably on the ice, I'm just a guy that leads by example. I'm not too vocal in the room, but I just away from the rink, I really try to focus on those things, getting guys together, whatever it might be.
Is it an odd feeling? You're still a young guy, but you're not the youngest guy anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's my fifth year. It feels like yesterday I was playing my first game. It goes quick, so I really just try to not take anything for granted. And like I said earlier, when I was a young guy, the older guys treated me with respect and kind of showed me how things work. And I just try and do what I was told and what I've learned over the years, and try to help anyone I can.
Do you think the young guys look at you as an example of it's possible that you can make a team even though you're only 18, 19, 20 years old?
100%, and I think that's the good thing about where our team's at right now is we have so many young guys that are pushing for spots, and I think just a lot of guys were here this summer, which is very very good to see. So I think just that compete, and that the guy on the ice that you're going against, you're going to give it everything you have. You're going to compete against him, but at the same time, that's your brother, and I think just having that balance of relationship is really good for our team right now.
Tyson Forster said he stayed with you. Who else did, Joel, if you don't mind?
I kind of rotated some guys that came in. Some guys stayed with me, short time. Tice was with me most of the summer. Igor Zamula stayed with me a little bit. Bobby Brink was over. A lot of guys were kind of in Voorhees, and I would kind of take them out on the weekends and things like that. Not necessarily every guy lived with me, but just like I said, I think just getting away from the rink, especially in the summer, that's the time to do it, whether it's going golfing or going for a beer, dinner, you name it. So I think that stuff's great.
Joel, Tyson really spoke highly of that experience over the summer, and you got to see the small sampling that he had last year at the NHL level, and obviously got a up close look at his offseason too. Kind of what kind of next step is there for him as he kind of gets into this camp?
Yeah, Tyson's a really interesting guy. I felt, where I was at that age versus him, he's a lot more mature, and I felt like he's a lot more of a pro. He cooked a lot for me this summer, so in that regard, he's really good. But he's just put so much work in, whether it's his diet, what he does in the off season, things like that. It's fun to watch from a young guy. I know I'm not too much older than him, but I think his work ethic has given him the best chance to make this team. And I watched a little of the scrimmage before we played him, and he looked great. And even in our scrimmage, I thought he was one of the best players on the ice.
Joel, how much of your downtime this summer getting immersed in the Phillies and what they've done? I know you're a big baseball fan.
Yeah, I'm all in on the Phillies. I've been to a few games. Obviously, I went and hit batting practice a couple weeks ago. That was a lot of fun. Met some of the guys. They're kind of gearing up for the playoffs here, which is really cool to see. And even just going to the games, seeing fans that may recognize me and stuff, and I'm kind of one of them at that point. So it's pretty cool. I think even just seeing we went to the Eagles game the other time. I think just the fans are so great around here. And it's really cool, as an athlete to get to experience that fan when you go to a game and stuff like that. So I think, as much as I can, I try to in the summer, get out and do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, does that really make you think, like, wow, if we can take the next steps, the Wells Fargo Center can be pretty crazy come playoff time?
Yeah, 100%. Even my first year, I know the season got shut down and we ended up playing in the bubble. But even just leading up to that, I forget what we were. I think we were maybe second in the East at that point. It's just like there's a buzz around the city when the Flyers are good. So, I definitely remember those moments and how electric our rink can get when we're winning. So, that's obviously our goal is to get to the playoffs this year. And I think if we play the right way and we do the right things, the fans and are going to get behind that.
Sean said yesterday it's kind of up to you guys to decide how long a rebuild lasts. There's a connotation that it's a tear down and a rebuild is 4 or 5 years. But how do you kind of view your guys' role in how long a rebuild lasts?
Yeah, you kind of just said it. It's up to the players in the room, and kind of like I said earlier, with how many young guys, it's up to them too. So I think guys are going to be pushing for spots. Guys are going to be pushing each other, and at the end of the day, that only makes the team better and makes us stronger.